So similar to Fair Hill, I'm sorry. You do have kind of a gravel start where everybody's going to be elbowing each other, and then it goes into like kind of a sketchy section that's not really a mountain bike trail. It's more of a field or double track. You have to be really smart, but you also have to be somewhat aggressive here when you're going, and just making sure that you're on the line that you feel comfortable being on. Because if you're getting pushed out into the grass or getting pushed to the center, it's kind of unpredictable. You want to stay within one of the tracks, so you're where you want to be. Now, this section is most important, because, again, like I said, you wanted to be where you want to be, but, it breaks down into this single track, and then you go into the woods. So where you're at here is where you're going to be placed at for a while, because there's no passing, unless somebody comes up on you that's very aggressive. And you get into these woods and it's windy. Last year, very early in the race, there was a crash in front of me, but like, even if a crash happens in front of you, like literally right here, you can't get past them. You can like try to pass them when they get up, but they're blocking the whole trail, and you go to try to pass them, but if they get up fast enough and kind of block you, you're stopped 20, 30 seconds from the people that were in front of that person. So, you really, really, really have to be smart but aggressive in these sections. Hopefully they cut out those low branches before the race. If you are really riding well, you can get some good flow through these corners. They are really tight, but it wasn't really kept up. The vegetation was kind of overgrown in these sections. So keep your game face on here, because this is a gnarly climb, a little short, some roots and stuff, and the camera is always there. So keep your game face on. Make sure you're ready for the camera for your race photos. Another thing I noticed was it's kind of flowy, and you're not really hammering on early in this race, so it's easy to kind of think you're warmed up when you're not. I've gotten to the point where then you do this for a mile or two, and then boom, you're hitting some climbs, and you're like, oh crap, I'm not I don't have my heart rate up to where I need to be, or I don't have my climbing legs, and you kind of find out like you hit a wall, from experience the last couple times that I raced this course. Again, there were a couple logs down, but hopefully they'll be removed by the time the Big Elk race happens. So that section's pretty easy. That we just rode through. Now it gets a little technical. There are some descents that are a little sketch and some bridges. Name of the game here is roots. You're not going to encounter a lot of rocks or any steep descents, but the descents that and the climbs, they're very rooty, washed out. Big roots, some drops. See right here, this climb, really rooty, sucks any energy and forward momentum out when you hit it. You've got to ride like a mosquito. This is where, you start climbing, start getting your heart rate up. You have to use your momentum as much as possible on this course. Again, watch out for these bridges. It's a lot of undulation on this course. There's no huge climb. It's just you're constantly either going up or down. Really rooty climbs, so you have to pick your lines well. The corners are flat. They have roots. They're not banked by any means, of course there's no berms, but sometimes corners get worn out and push the soil and the sand out of the corner, so you can kind of use a natural berm just from people riding it, where these corners are just rooty and there are no berms or natural berms or banking at all. It's not even a case of it being off camber, it's just rooty, flat. And again, rooty climbs that suck all your momentum. Gotta make sure you pick the correct line. Even if you have to go a little further just to stay and keep your momentum. more roots and roots and roots. You know, again, these are really fun descents, and you have to enjoy them when you have them. Some beautiful trees, though. They're huge. Even though it was bright, I do recommend trying to wear clear glasses for this race course. I was wearing like a light tint, and I did have a hard time seeing. So I do recommend clear glasses if you know you have problems. But you know, I'm colorblind, so I also struggle with differentiation sometimes. It's a nice safe bridge there. Yeah, most likely they're going to have this moved out of the way by the time the race comes. Another great descent here. If you're tired and riding poorly, this course kind of stinks. It's just not fun. My second lap last year. But if you're riding good, it's got a lot of flow, and you can really get some good speed, and it's a lot of fun. I feel like this course is broken up into a couple different parts. Like that first section prior to this moment, and even now, is like your payoff section. So you have, some decent descents, some fun descents, and then the second half of the course is where you're paying for your fun. You start having these climbs, and you start questioning your physical capabilities. But we're still at this point, doing a good descent. Yeah, and this is where the pain starts. You start going up, and then you have descents, and then you start really paying with your climbing. Yeah, after this gravel road, it's like you're at your lowest point, right by the river, and it's time to go back up.
What's that? Oh, no, I'm just hanging back because I'm filming.
If anybody's wondering, I'm hanging back just so I can get film of a good clear trail. Yeah, this is another good section where you can pick up your nutrition. It's nice, safe, smooth, kind of double track, a little wider single track. You can keep good speed before the climbing starts. Again, these climbs aren't huge, but there's no real flat. You're all, it always feels like you're either going uphill or downhill. But the roots add another layer to the struggle. Another fun descent. That is rocky. Okay, I guess there was rocks there. But again, very brief. As you continue making your way back up. Yeah, this climb, I always feel like it's just unfair. They put it so late in the race on the late on the course. I mean, it is about halfway through, but it's, you know, when you're feeling like crap, it's not fun. You have a little reprieve with the descent that would just pass, but then you just keep going. And then you have a little descent again, then you just keep going. It's, this race, sneaky brutal. Sneaky. More roots. One thing you can think about is once you hit like water, like just for like purposes of landmarks, if there's water around you, there's going to be a climb immediately afterwards, because it's essentially you're just going back to the top constantly, and then it dips you down at higher points where there's creeks, and then you just keep going up. Nice little section here too. Here's a nice Another little fun descent section. Again, I know I said that there wasn't rocks, but now that I'm like thinking about it, yeah, there are rocks. Like, here's a rocky section. I was able to clear it like all 3 laps that I did for the pre-ride, so it's not too challenging. But I did, ride it. The gear was, the gearing, I rode pretty much granny gear up over it, because you really need the power just to get up and over those rocks. Again, here we are with climbing. You have your, gravel descent, you hit the creek, and you're going up. And this is my least favorite climb of the race. But, during the race, it seems longer than it actually is when you're struggling. I keep saying this, but when you're struggling, not, if you're fit and, and you're having good form, it's fine. It's a different animal. But, like, when you're struggling, some of these climbs are brutal. Now, that climb does take you into what I think is the most fun descent, probably in the Mass series. This descent is great. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I really love that descent. Again, the camera doesn't really do a lot of justice to it, but it's fun. But again, you're paying for it. You have a, working on getting the climb out. Not a huge deal if you're on form. If the heat's bothering you and you're not feeling great, you're not in best of shape, it's kind of a kick to the chest, but if you're on form, it's fine. Another good descent. Again, this climbing gets you. Again, another section where you start climbing to get out of the woods towards the finish line. It's one of those situations where you have to change your technique specifically for this course because you lose so much momentum, so you need to kind of spin your way through these routes and these climbs. Can't really mash it. Like I said, these climbs aren't huge, but they do take a toll on you throughout the whole course. A really fun descent there to round out this lap. And then you get down to this water, and it's a climb out. From here on out, it's nothing but climbing. It's not quite the struggle like Farallon at the end, but it's not a fun hill. So basically, you ride up this gravel climb for like 200 yards, I would say, and then you shoot through the grass, and you do a lap around the grass, and then there's the finish line.
Might as well. What's that? Yeah, I'll go this turn. I'm looking at Sizzler. I wasn't going to do it, but I want to finish track 2 at Sizzler. I wanted to start doing like epics, you know, like over this 100 and whatever that Transylvania, whatever it is. Yeah, the long races, like still races and stuff. That's what I want to do. So.
Thanks for watching.